In the dawn of every anime era, there comes a time when one anime changes said genre. The 90s fantasy boom saw the likes of Slayers and Fushigi Yugi. Mecha fans had their Gundams and Macrosses, while the big three were just beginning their craze in the early 2000s in the West. So, what happens when you want to appeal to the gaming crowd in an environment where love life is beginning to reign king? You make sword art, of course! Salutations, fellow misfits of the internet! I am your loving host, Shannen, and I give you an informative rundown on the series everyone and their mother has made a video on already. But thanks to the recent sword art productions heading in the works, this seems like an ideal time to talk about it. And hey, maybe the rumor about putting sword art in your anime video will bring me more audience for once. Time will tell. Now, I figure many people know by now what sword art is and why it's so popular. But for the few, the chosen and uninitiated, I'm going to cliff notes it anyway, because that's what I do. Let's go! Okay, so we got this guy here, and yeah, see, he's testing on the beta of this new fancy smancy VR game, looking like a fool with his head on the bed. He's meeting some people to play with, fighting pigs, when all of a sudden he wants to leave his magical abode. I don't know, probably to go pee. When, ruh-roh, he can't log out. Suddenly, like a flash, everyone is called to an anime red wedding, where like its Game of Thrones counterpart, everybody dies. Or can die. You can die in the video game. It's not that quick, people. And after a moment of unveiling the stereotype that some female characters are guys just wanting free stuff because there's never a girl online, am I right? Kirito now gets that gusto to be like, I got nothing else better to do, so I'ma just, fight the boss with the power of friendship. Oh. Guess I didn't have enough friendship. So screw you guys, I'ma beat this game like a big boy now. Beat her out! But anyway, what starts as a game of Risk becomes a slew of emotions for the rest of the series among the entire anime community. Oh boy, and did it start something fierce. Let me take a break for a spell and admit to you guys a little shocker. I, the anime misfit Shannen, am claiming my neutrality to sword art right now as a country. That's right, I don't like the series like it's sliced bread, nor do I want to drop it like it's hot. Or, not anymore. Admittedly, I was also in the War of the Worlds sword art camp who burned every disc they found! Until after years of maturing in anime-dom and the ordinal scale movie that cemented an epiphany in my noggin. Sword Art Online isn't that bad. Or is it? No, it's not that bad, people. Opinions can change, and mine has quite a bit. Of course, we are not going to cover the movie or even season 2 where Shooty McGunpants shows up. Nope, we're going full vanilla on this campaign. Season 1 strats only. And here we go with those pros, because there are some contrary to popular belief. Pro numero uno. Like it or not, it's a captivating show that's fun to watch. I had a fun time enjoying watching this power fantasy, otherwise no one in the anime community would have gave two shits. Toriko thought it was going to be the next big shonen series, and look where that got it. R.I.P. Toriko, you were too tasty before your time. Sword Art, on the other hand, has this wow factor that has grabbed people's attention on either side of this camp. Is that attention riddled with issues and annoyances so large that it clogs the toilets of 2 towns over? Oh, you bet your sweet puppy they do. But did you still invest your time to watch it? Oh yes, you did. A good majority of you. One reason behind that could be those flashy action scenes and Deftones focused in season 1. Oh, here we go with the spiel every other anti-tuber has said. Well, hold the fuck up, bud. I also agree that how death was handled in the beginning added to that fun watch, and I don't give a damn how many other people have commented on it. As a blast to all you haters out there, not only that, but most of the first 3 episodes and the beginning episodes of the fairy arc were fun pieces of dialogue to witness, even if you had to dig through a lot of crud to do it. What I'm trying to say is that for the I hate sword art camp, there is something to enjoy here. It might not be what kind of fun you had at first, but don't try to immediately assume that every good comment from from the other crowd assumes that they are dumb babies who don't know anything about high culture stuff. Because boy, if you're bringing out that excuse for your anime sparts, then take it from me. I love anime, and even I know that it's full of trash. I'm sorry, I'm just really tired of people using their hipster excuse when you flame others about this show. Talk in the comments below about how you also have that dismay, or you have that other side of the opinion. I don't care, let's just get that conversation going. But Shannon, so you're saying there aren't flaws at all? Then isn't that being a bit naive? And just stop, because I stated not long ago that flaws are a constant in this series. So now is a good time as any to play devil's advocate to the other side of this argument and see what flaws we can muster. I'm just kidding. I'm personally going to round up all the little bits into 3 major issues with Sword Art Online that adhere to me. Problems 1 and 2, kind of going in tandem in that Kirito is not only a bad character by design, but the harem aspect that is tied to him creates an unnecessary mess. By the way, for all you Shannen veteran content fans out there, you all should have saw this coming with me trying to weave in harem somehow. I could go on for days on how this guy's white knight boring nonsensical power fantasy is a deterrent to any intense emotion or female empowerment that has been stolen from the plot every time he breathes. But I figured too many people better than myself have already made that point clear. So, my fellow misfits, I rather focus on the harem problem and why an easy fix that I later suggest could do wonders for most of my criticisms. Because wait, we've already said that. Anyway, moving on. So class, get your trusty makeshift haremnomicons and turn to page 50 Magellan, as today we talk about centerpieces. I've said this once, and I'll say it again. A harem lead needs to be an equal centerpiece for all suitors orbiting them. Someone who has open opportunities that could lead to different people. This way, the audience all have a fair opportunity to dream about them being with their best girl. Otherwise, an imbalance would cause a flame war so big that they would tell a creator to make a different ending for the sake of a character, when clearly Naruhito was out from the get-go. And to all you Naru Sasuke fans, why? Why? That was never going to happen. Oh god, I'm gonna get so made for that. Sarcasm. Therefore, trying to have your cake and eat it too by picking someone and then letting the harem stay is just dead weight, dragging your gravitational pull to crash and burn on the audience. While there are some exceptions to this rule, Sword Art is definitely not one of them. Kirito and Asuna's relationship are like 2 clogs in the same toilet. I mean like 2 cogs of a bicycle pedal that are suddenly weighed down by a bag filled with colorful rocks. Pretty to look at, not safe to ride one's bike. The sad part being half of the blame isn't even on Kirito, but the harem itself. Every other girl besides Asuna has no real reason to stay with him. By the end of the Aincrad arc, and through heavy marketing, it's made obviously clear that they are dating, but they still hover around him in an uncomfortably close manner, taking away valuable time that could have been better used on developing their own characters more. Like, Jesus, go outside and do a quest, you two. It could even be with the both of you together, but come on, there's gotta be more fun things to do than watch his and her misgivings over there. Like, once Kirito has finished gracing them with his presence, they get inducted into this weird waifu cult. Beware the waifu cult! Those cookies are a lie. A lie, I say! Speaking of waifus, Asuna, surprisingly, I'm not gonna have much to say on. Yes, the character shift was unfortunate from episode 1, and I will never forget episode 21 with all the tentacles and whatnot. Never forget. But you know what? Since I know she gets better after this season, I don't see any harm anymore picking on her. It is getting kinda old. Which leads us into problem number 3, the fairy arc and what post-episode 12 could have been. Everything. Everything in that arc. The cousin, the game mechanics, the bullshit admin powers, the side characters, the villain, your Asuna is in another castle, the government agent was shite. I cannot think of one redeemable thing from... Okay, that was cool. Overkill, but cool. So what could be done to fix these 3 problems realistically? And when I mean realistically, I mean in a way that would keep the power fantasy aspect of the show while having it make sense and more efficient with time management. Well, all of them can simply be solved if the creator just chose from his multitude of ideas. This is what I think all 3 issues have in common. Kirito's character is trying to stand on his own as unique to itself, but because he's designed to be a power fantasy harem god too, with not much personality and protagonist face, he also serves as an insert harem lead for the audience. Therefore, if he was focused on one or the other, then I feel there would be either more personality, likable flaws, and demeanor to make Kirito potentially a more fleshed out character. Or, if he was to go full on insert lead, then that time could better be spent on the females and why we should give a care about them. A care bear, if you will. I don't know why I said that. As for problem 2, the same could apply. Either have Kirito and Asuna with no attached harem for the other girls to do their own thing, develop and become better waifus in the race for best girl, or have Kirito be forever alone and never change his Facebook status to keep the harem potential orbiting, which would again focus efforts on better prospects, like, I don't know, giving Klein more respectable screen time. Seriously, he's basically the unsung husbando, no one expected otherwise. As for problem 3, I feel like that's the easiest of them all to solve. Yeah, but how do I say it? I know. Remove the damn fairy arc and properly do Aincrad, you blithering ninnies. Just the fact that Aincrad was halted for the sake of a twist that goes nowhere was bullshit. I'm glad later down the franchise we got some answers to what was above floor 70, 60, 65, I don't remember. But fuck! Who just stops in the middle of an arc to start a new one? It's like if I stop in the middle of this sentence to move on to... And now it's time for another fun-filled segment of Community Corner. A time where I give a shout out to other creative outlets in the anime community and hopes that other people have a look-see. This one goes out to a special artist from Anime Boston, because when you're the only one in the entire artist alley with a large print of Magi, then boy did you get brownie points with me. But anyway, check out Yumi Sukiya, traveling artist by trade, lover of anime all year round. Whether it's this cute Oron ensemble or that one Gengar in the crowd. Fan of OTPs? Well, she's got them loud and proud. If you're someone looking to have that perfect digital commission at an affordable and varied price range for anyone's wallet, then head on over to your local convention or on social media to check out Yumi Sukiya today. And if you happen to see her, tell her that Anime Boston girl who just loves her Magi stuff says hi. Now if you know of any creative outlets in this world of anime, either comment down below or anywhere on my social media with the hashtag Community Corner and tell me all about it. With outreach being more important than ever, even though I may be one girl on the internet, I will always try my best. What was I talking about? Right, presentation. I thought it was alright. Season 1's visuals are a universally good point that many people agree was the best asset, and a contributor to why it's such an enjoyable series. I can't imagine why people thought A1 Pictures was a factorized money bag only making anime for no artistic integrity at all. Who'd have thought? But seriously, when I think of the infamous protagonist face, this is the show that spawned its popularity, in my eyes. I didn't believe this tall tale at first, but it was only after a year post its release did I start to recognize the very similar facial features most of the characters have. It's a curse! Let's see, what else? We got the soundtrack. Don't care about it! Opening. It was alright. I liked the first song, but since the show was so popular, I remember a younger me shutting it off YouTube quickly for how many times it was played. On which I started headbanging to the beat once I could hold off the jams no longer. Hit it, Frank! That leaves us with today's voice forecast. How are we looking today, Shannen of 5 minutes ago? Well, Shannen, the sub-to-dub ratio for this popular current shifts back and forth throughout the week, where ultimately the fates are left at a hard-to-manage mismatch. We believe here at Misfit Voice Actor Weather Corporation that certain dub performances were better individually and vice versa, culminating into one big voice orgy. The craziest voice orgy this side of Kansas. Back to you in the studio. And thank you, Shannen. Allow me to translate for everyone else. Neither voice track was superior to me, but instead, the sub or dub performances of individual people were a case-by-case basis. Kirito, for example, I found was better in his seiyu's voice, because it gave him the needed personal flavor to add to an otherwise bland character. Sorry, Bryce Papenbrook, it wasn't a bad rendition, I just preferred the seiyu, and the same can be said for the performances of Asuna, the little dragon girl, Yui, but she's kinda iffy in both elf versions, to be honest, and the tentacle monsters, to be better in the sub. Everyone else in major roles, including every guy that wasn't Kirito, Leafa and the blacksmith girl were totes better in the dub for me. Personally, I find it unfortunate that no one really stood out, however, so that's telling you something. Anything else? We got a few seconds on our hands. Is it time for a Kirito diss track about how he's an insufferable poop head? Alright, let's do this! Alright, I got myself loose. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2. You all should know better. Kirito disses are so overrated. Now let's finish this up. The first season of Sword Art Online opened the floodgates to what we know today as the second coming of the isekai genre. It may not be the best, it may not be the worst, but one thing's for sure is that everyone needs to chill the fuck out and stop throwing rocks at each camp. Look, this season is average at best, and there's nothing wrong with the show as long as it's fun to watch, and I do believe it is. So there, that's my final say on it. I'm now off my soapbox. So, after some consideration and 35 insert Sword Art Online tots and glorifications later, I award Sword Art Online Season 1 with a recommendation to try it and a watchability rating of PG-13. For those of you who haven't watched it and aren't already taken in by the bandwagon of criticism or praise, I recommend you give the series a try with your own eyes to make your own personal judgment. Whether you like it or not, this show is a great way to see how you make your appeal to the masses, because stupid as most of the plot is, it got a lot of eyeballs to see it, and that is why it became a franchise. For more Seiyo fun and frolics of the stupidly enjoyable, then you can check it out for streaming on Crunchyroll for the US, UK, Canada, and Australia. Netflix for everyone mentioned except Australia. Sorry, Australia. And Hulu, which is exclusive to us here in the States. If you're looking for something similar to the Asuna capturing scene around the world, then I got some wares to show you. First, we have 3 anime from opposite spans of the isekai genre. Konosuba for those who like to experience the genre for what it is, and Log Horizon for those wanting more relatability in the game mechanics and game culture of the stuck in an RPG world trope. Next, we have a list of genre shakers, other anime that also brought a resurgence to their respective places. I know many people have seen these, but for the few that haven't, we have Slayers to represent the first fantasy anime boom, Madoka Magica for the magical girl genre, Evangelion to mechas, and School Eye for the, well, you'll see what I mean for that one. And finally, I want to recommend the anime Excel World. Made by the same creator, Excel World takes place 20 years after the events of SAO, where yes, people are still risking their livelihoods over a game that could give them a major brain tumor. Literally, because the PCs are attached to their neck. You know, just watch it and you'll see what I mean. But in general, there is something in this budget that I hope that you'll like and check out. So, before we go, I want to reiterate a few things. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to go with my normal end card silly spiel. 1, my P.O. box is no longer in service at this time, for it's overdue. I forgot. And since I'm moving at the end of the summer anyway, it kind of works out. Plus, this is a small channel now, so it's not like I got much mail to begin with. So, number 2, reminder that video content will be posted on Mondays, casual Wednesdays, and Saturdays to keep up with the algorithm change. Something about views not being seen if the previous one doesn't do well, and yada yada. For now, I can't guarantee every day of those days will have something because I'm still trying to pan this out. Regardless, I will try my best to keep up with those posting days. But if you are always here to check out my content by hitting that notification bell and liking and commenting in the down belows, then I thank you immensely for your support. Seriously, when you guys like and comment my videos, it really makes me happy in an honestly tough time I'm having, with my videos being one of the few outlets to take out my frustrations on. So, thanks again. For everyone new in the house, hi! Why not consider subscribing to the Anime Misfit today, in which your 803rd milkshake is on us. Not really, but that would be cool. Follow me on all sorts of social media, like my Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram. If you want to talk to me, mono anytime of the day, how about joining the Discord server and have fun with all of us? And finally, if you want to go above and beyond the Call of Duty and help this girl follow her dreams in a reckless abandon, then consider supporting me on Patreon. Right now, all proceeds are going to paying my 2 lovely editors who add to the manpower I desire to stay competitive in this world of mayhem known as YouTube. YouTube. What do you guys want to see next? How do you like this review? All the words are important words, especially the words that help you ask where the bathroom is in different languages, because man, those are useful. I don't know why it's relevant now, but maybe one of these will help remind you that now you have to go take a trip to the loo. Hey, look at that! I have to go take a trip to the loo right now, so I'ma go now. Shannen out!